Well, Ned, and on Friday afternoon, well, nightish, it was so long that I even lost track of when it
Was
was
it
in
Friday,
the
yeah?
the day. Was it Friday? We had the World Cup draw. Hey,
It's
2026
time.
World Cup draw. Yes, in the US, Mexico, and Canada. I think we all waited. Uh, we were quite impatient for it because it's the start usually of that kind of World Cup cycle. Really, even if there's a good 6 months between now and the actual start of the competition, it still starts now.
Hmm.
Just a few of your opinions on some of the groups and the draw, including the England group. They will be in Group L with Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. Thomas Tuchel seems quite happy with it in a way. I think a few people saw that as a decent group, considering the top two will qualify directly, and then 8 of the best third out of 12, so 8 out of 12
Yeah.
of the third teams will still qualify. So you think England, Croatia, and Ghana will finish top three and likely all qualify. But what did you make of it?
No, I think they will be happy with that. It's not to say that the games will be easy as such, but unfortunately, you know yourself that you need to play well at World Cup to get through it. So
Yeah.
you can't just necessarily squeak your way through it. I think the game with Croatia,
Which
they'll
is
be
the
playing,
first game.
yeah, they'll be playing very similar styles, but I think England have the better players.
Yeah.
So I fancy them to be able to get a win there. And then I think, is it Panama? It's the third game.
Yes. So Ghana second.
Yeah, and the Ghana game will be interesting because there'll be lots of eyes on that, especially domestically as well. And it's a different type of game for England because the last time I think they played West African opponents was Senegal in the summer,
Yeah.
and they lost.
Yeah.
I think that was at the City Ground, so it won't necessarily
Or
be.
maybe a Fulham.
Yeah, so it won't be easy for them. But a team that's got aspirations of winning a World Cup should look at that draw and say everything is going to be fine.
Yeah.
And they should be able to, for them, build momentum throughout the tournament from that standpoint. But as we've seen historically, teams that believe they can win and teams that actually do win can be two different stories, can't it?
That's very true. The England's pathway towards the potential final is in the side of the draw that they are. Could have Brazil, could have Portugal, could have Spain. Through it, which might not be easy. They could have, I think, potentially maybe Germany in the last 16 or something like that. So it could be tricky. The USA and Mauricio Pochettino, who's behind you, Ned, drew Paraguay, Australia, and the playoff C of the UEFA playoffs, if you want. So potentially Turkey is the biggest country in there. Again, they seem very happy with that.
Yeah, isn't it true that Australia and Paraguay have also played the US in recent weeks as well?
Yes, in friendlies, yeah.
And USA won.
And Turkey too.
Yeah, and USA won as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So this to me is like the definition of what could be a trap. We've seen this before. We've beaten them. Everything's going to be fine, and they'll obviously have really good following, especially on the West Coast where they'll be. But it is going to be tough, and I think people will sense that. And I think for me, the way that a World Cup goes, especially if you're going to be hosting it yourself, you get a lot more casual fans coming across and paying attention. But where do they believe that the USA are in terms of their position within world football? Because these games against Australia, Paraguay, and potentially Turkey, for example, nobody's really going to know the in and outs of why those will be tricky games.
That's true.
But
you've got if they start winning, yeah, exactly. And if they start winning, they'll have the momentum.
If you start winning. But all those games, I think if they're to win them, they'll be hard fought. There'll be no games which are easy, which for some might be difficult to understand. But they'll take that, they'll see that. And finally, Pochettino and those others can start beginning to prepare that path. Because for me, hosting is great, but not having competitive games for a long period of time, it's an issue, isn't it?
That's true. That's very
Whereas
true.
other people are fighting for their lives on a week-to-week, not week-to-week, a month-to-month basis in these games. Well, they know now. They know their path. You can almost bring out that big bracket, the wall, the poster on your wall, and start dreaming of your national team doing well. And I think the USA will be well equipped to get out of that group.
Yeah.
But still, you need to play well and sort of deal that pressure as well.
There's a lot of there's other really interesting games that the draw has thrown to us.
Oh, really? Tell me which ones.
There's obviously the Mbappe, Erling Haaland clash between France and Norway in Group I, which should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Brazil-Morocco in the Scotland group, Group C, with Haiti as well. But that Brazil-Morocco game should be fun. There's the Germany group in Group E, with Ecuador and Ivory Coast and Curacao, which should be interesting. If Italy do qualify, they will go with the Switzerland game in the Switzerland group, for example. I think Argentina had a decent group with Austria, for example. But yeah, I think there's some really interesting games coming up in the group. And as we know, the real World Cup really will start from the last 32 onwards, right?
Yeah, it will. Yeah, I think this tournament's going to be it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a test just because it's so many games now.
Yeah.
You know, whereas previously you kind of felt like things would accelerate very, very quickly. Like it's 104 games this time.
That's a lot, isn't it?
I think we'll probably watch all of them.
Yeah, we will.
But
Of
that's
course,
a
we will.
lot of football.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
lot of football. And who would you say is going to be the biggest disappointment in terms of big nations, maybe that would be considered to be getting into the last like 4 or 8?
I don't know. I think all the big nobody is going to drop out in the group stage from the big
sure?
countries. Yeah, I don't think so. I can't see it. Not with so many people, not so many teams qualifying for the last 32.
Do you think to get through as a best third place team you need to get like 4 points?
I think 3 might be enough. as well.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
okay.
So a win, if you have one of the weaker side in your group, then a win against them, and then I think you're almost there.
Okay.
And just before we finish, I tried to find Nigeria in this draw. Do they have a maybe special draw later? How does it?
Listen, man. What I will say is that
I was just scrolling and could not find Nigeria anywhere.
as I said on the show the other day, Nigeria, I think is Venezuela,
Yes.
I think Trinidad,
Yes.
possibly Jamaica if they don't make it. Shout out to Alexis.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
they're
yeah.
in pot 5.
Okay,
So there's going to be another draw.
Okay, another draw
That
like
comes
special
after this
ESPN
a
kind of
special draw
Special
for
draw.
all the teams that everybody loves, because I know, being from Nigeria, that everyone in Africa loves Nigerians. They've made that very, very clear over the
Very
last
clear.
few weeks.
Nobody's too disappointed.
Nobody. I was in Paris. Sorry, for just quick story. I was in Paris for the Women's Champions League the other day, and I walked into a cafe, and a woman was there. She says, "Oh, where are you from?" I was like, "Oh, Manchester." And so I says, "No, where are you from?" I said, "I was from Nigeria." She says, "Oh, it's a shame." I said, "Shame? What do you mean?"
Oh,
I saw you didn't qualify for the World Cup, but I'm from Haiti. And
Ah.
we're going. But it's okay. Maybe next time, she said.
Even in Paris, they throw you.
Complete stranger,
just me. Oh my
Haitian,
God.
complete Haitian stranger took me to pieces. You got to eat it. That's the way it
There's
is.
always 2030, my friend. Always.
Okay, Jules. Okay.